Okay, we're starting a new standard today, and it's Algebra 5.0. And I want you to look at the standard. It's right here, 5.0. Students solve multi-step problems, including word problems, involving linear equations and linear inequalities in one variable, and provide justification for each step. It's a lot of information. Let's see if we can kind of talk this through a little bit. So here's what we're basically going to do. We just took an assessment, and we've been simplifying there we go. We've been simplifying linear expressions, equations, and inequalities. And that was standard 4.0. Okay, we're pretty good at that, and we do that by using distributive property and combining like terms. So I told you guys about this little acronym I like. It's called Dogs Can't Get Internet. And in my mind, what those letters really stand for, the D stands for distributive property, the C stands for combine like terms, the G stands for get all variables on one side, and the I stands for isolate the variable using inverse operations. Isolate the variable using inverse operations, distribute property, combine like terms, get all variables on one side. There's my acronym, and here's what it really stands for. So when we were using distributive property and combining like terms, we were simplifying. Now we're going to get all the variables on one side and isolate the variable, and that's how we're going to actually solve, take it to the next level. So I want you to put your pencils down right now, and I'm going to show you an example of where we would use all these steps in one problem. So here we go. I have, let me try something here. Does that work better? No, not really. Okay. I have this equation, and it is -5, put your pencils down and just listen, 1 times the quantity 1 minus 5x plus 5 times the quantity -8x minus 2 equals -4x minus 8x. It's looking a little gnarly right there. But if we use our little acronym, it's going to be a piece of cake, baby. It's an equation. I'm going to put my line down here to remind myself that there's a balance that we have to maintain on both sides of this equation, because that's basically just a rule we have to follow in algebra. We have to maintain that balance in our equation. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. But first, before we get to that, we're going to simplify. So we're going to use the distributive property. So I'm going to distribute a -5 to every stinking term in my parentheses. So I get -5, and then -5 times -5x is positive 25x. Now I'm going to distribute a +5 to everything in this parentheses. Positive 5 times -8x is -40x. and positive 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Now, what I did on this side of the equation was simplify. This is equal to this. So I didn't change its value, I just simplified it. I cleaned it up. And I didn't do anything on the right-hand side at all yet. So I haven't changed its value, I simplified it. So now, as far as simplifying, the next step is to combine like terms. So I notice that I have a negative 5 right here, and I have a negative 10 right here, and when